there. Cy Williams, High Canada Magazine, and I'm sitting here with Jerry Martin, the King of Compassion. Jerry's a longtime friend of High Canada Magazine, and 2014 to 2016 ran one of the most philanthropic organizations in Saskatchewan. People would drive for hundreds of kilometers from as far away as Winnipeg to come down to Martin Medical Services in Whitewood, Saskatchewan, to meet Jerry Martin, to explain to Jerry Martin their health issues, their mental health issues, their spiritual health issues, and for years Jerry served almost 1,200 people in this community, focusing on medical cannabis, focusing on treating them as best he could.
Absolutely,
it's
very important to me.
In a very gray area. Now, we did a big cover story on Jerry. We'd heard about Jerry from so many people around the country. We went down and visited him personally and got to know him, and we were stunned to find out how much you had actually given back to your community. Besides working on the front lines of the medical cannabis space and educating so many people and helping so many people with with cannabis and different ways to treat their ailments, you also gave back substantially to your town. So let's go back there.
Sure.
Whitewood, Saskatchewan. It's rural Saskatchewan. It's a small town. Tell us about what it was like to open up down there.
Well, it's very nerve-wracking to open up any type of cannabis shop in Saskatchewan. It is the Texas of Canada, along with Alberta, when it comes to crime. And what they do believe in Saskatchewan, from my old lawyer's exact words, was they believe that marijuana, cannabis, whatever you prefer to call it, is the root of all drugs and all crime. So it funds the heroin, it funds everything. And that is their beliefs. Are very old school. A lot of very old religious groups, and they run a lot of those things in that town and those communities. So they're very old school and very, their thoughts are, very against cannabis. So to open up there was definitely a challenge. But after a couple of years, I think I really changed a lot of the minds and a lot of the views on cannabis and what it not only can it do for you medically, but what it could do for your community if you allow a store like that and let it run like that for the community, not a government-run store, because it's all recreational. They're not there to provide any help to the community, and I wanted to show that it could not only profit for myself, but greatly for the community.
So, you are underplaying this so much. Tell us about some of the things that Martin Medical Services was able to give back to this community.
Sure. So we helped donate, funds for the town square, which they did cover up later. But the swimming pool, I built the entire beer gardens for the rodeo. I think the last year for the Saskatchewan Rodeo Association, we did a custom marijuana saddle, and each one got a custom buckle, so that's really cool. But I mean, kids with all library books, hospital beds, if they needed funding for school, for sports, every year we would do kids camp, so I would sponsor an entire weekend, totally paid for by us, for any less fortunate kids that couldn't afford to go to camp for a whole weekend, and the parents loved it, the kids loved it, so that's,
So I actually think you're selling yourself a little bit short there, because besides being the King of Compassion, you're also the King of Compassionate Pricing. And I know part of your mandate was making sure that people could afford their medication.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't, we tried to do the $12 gram once, but that lasted about a week. I couldn't live with the guilt. So really nothing was over $10 a gram. Most things, between $5 and $10 a gram. But what I did do to make sure that everybody could get something from us was when you signed up, you got a free gram. It didn't cost you. I would pay you up to $60, your medical bills, your affidavits, whatever you needed to get. And then every Wednesday you were allowed to come in and get a free gram. And it wasn't a gram of whatever I decided to give you. You could come in and choose your own gram of cannabis. So we did that for, since the day I opened.
You opened up in 2014.
Yeah, well, I actually opened up in 2012 under Martin Strauss Medical Services.
Okay.
Opened that up. It didn't work out. It was a learning curve. So I had my hip replaced, and I went to the Philippines for a month to visit family there. My father lives there. My little brother. But when I came back, and it was also when Trudeau was getting in.
Okay.
Right. So I left at the election time. I did not vote, and I really apologize to all those I got to vote. But it was a very hard decision. I was making a decision, and that's another reason I went there. Was I going to carry on when I come back, or was I going to stop? Because I got the warning from Health Canada as well. No, I got that story in 2015. So anyways, the long story short is I decided to open up, register Martin Medical Services as a medical marijuana dispensary, research facilities, all these things. And I made it very clear what I was doing. So throughout the process, I was very extremely transparent with banks, with the government, with my town. I really wanted to set an example of what you could do with cannabis.
And to be perfectly honest, that example resonated across the Canadian landscape.
I think it still does today.
Oh no, I agree with you, and it was such a need. It is such a needed service that you provided, and it was such a needed service. And what was the most shameful thing about this entire situation is that it was that in November 2016 they shut you down. Your doors were closed. What happened?
Well, they came. I was about 10 in the morning, knocked on the door. Actually, no, they came in. I said, Jerry, can you come out here? And they said, we got to talk to you outside. And that's fine. I talked to them many times before. And I went outside and they handcuffed me and said, you're indicted on 7 counts of trafficking, money laundering, proceeds of crime. And they took everything. My house, my buildings, my cars, they even took my change. They did leave me with about a dozen roaches. Which is, I needed that.
Yeah, I'm thinking I would have probably smoked them too.
But yeah, no, they took absolutely everything, and it was very, after donating well over documented $111,000 to that community over, just over a year. It was really hard on me and very hurtful that they would come in and take everything I owned, especially when I'd been in that community for 10 years and they knew that I had other businesses and these things, right? So yeah.
So you've had quite the court case that you've been building up to for the last 2 years now.
Yeah.
You have an amazing lawyer.
I do, Parliament in Toronto.
And you have some court dates that are coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, so we're in about, I think I'm in about $110,000 so far in lawyer's fees.
Holy crow.
Yeah, first lawyer, we won't go there, then the second lawyer, we won't go there, but we're in about $66,000 with this lawyer now, so we've almost got the funds, and that's been really, really such a lift off the stress it's having, and I really appreciate everybody that donated. I can't say thank you enough.
Did you find that the community, after you kind of backing your community for so long, did it surprise you to see that your community wanted to back you in exchange?
It was very humbling, very heartbreaking. Maybe not cry.
Very emotional.
It was not like I'd been arrested before, and I'll tell you, it was a very different experience to watch the community come in and try and help you.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like I committed a crime.
No, because you were serving when we originally met you years ago, you were in service to your community.
Yeah.
And I always remember you telling me that, because we try to take a page out of that in the High Canada book as well, and be in service to our community. So just that alone is very inspirational. Yeah. So it warmed my heart to see so many members of our community go and donate.
I think it really caught on, and posting those donations, a lot of people thought that was very self-centered, but what I was trying to do was show what cannabis can do for people, and the truth is when people start seeing you give and help, and other people start helping people, and that's the way it should be.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess over the next 3 or 4 months, you'll be going to court.
So the preliminary inquiry is February 20th. And then we'll go to trial after that. I'm not sure if we're doing the prelim or not. we may just skip that and go directly to trial. Prelim is basically how many grams of this, how many grams of that, or in my case, how many pounds of this and how many pounds of that did he have. And we, I was on the front page of the paper. Like I said, I made it very transparent about what I did, so it's kind of a waste of our time, money, and resources to go in there.
Yeah, that was the same year we put you on our cover as Canadian Philanthropist of the Year.
Yeah.
Which is funny to see our favorite philanthropist hauled away in handcuffs for helping people.
And that's it. They handcuffed me. They shackled me. They took my passport. I'm a flight risk. I haven't been able to leave the country and run my businesses in 2 years. They knew at the time I had a business with Dr. Hornby in Spain, and then I had the one in Peru, so they brought that up, and they felt I was a flight risk. Although I haven't seen anybody go to jail for this, so I don't understand why.
So have you not been able to visit your own resorts?
No, I haven't. They've made it very difficult for me to make any sort of financial income.
Now,
they closed my bank account, so if I try and open one, it's been a mess. My credit rating is like a 4.4 now. It's not good. Yeah, so it was, it got as bad as sleeping into a park with my 3 dogs for a while.
It's when life slaps you down hard.
Yeah, but I don't give in easy.
No,
Crawling my way back up.
No.
It's been a very difficult experience. Very hard to make a living. I can't even get into the legal end of things because of this going on. So
now, the one thing you just said really resonates with me. You are a fighter, and I know that this would have happened to other people I know. It probably would have broke them, but I have noticed that you've dived in deep into other big projects. We talked about your resort, and I know you're not able to go there right now, but you do have a wonderful resort going on in Peru.
Oh, absolutely, it's beautiful there.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So we fenced in 4 hectares of jungle. It's got running water, there's power, and there's toilet seats. I made very sure of that. It's third world countries that don't have.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful. There's waterfalls, all kinds of banana trees. We grow all kinds of medicinal plants right on the property. So we grow our own ayahuasca, our own chacruna, and plus other medicinal plants as well. So basically we do ayahuasca and Cambo retreats. So ayahuasca is DMT in its raw form, in its natural stage. So what you do is you ingest it, and it lasts about 4 hours. If you want to check some of that out online. I won't dive into it too much, but it's really good for addictions, for depression, and things like that. And that's why I went down to help better myself. And once I learned a bit more about it, I went and got my own place so that I could help other people again with that. So
I love the fact that you have devoted so much of your life to plant medicines, and not just cannabis, but healthy healing herbs and addressing things like mental health, spiritual health, physical health. Besides the resort, I understand you also have 2 new videos out. I know you already had 6 videos out, tattoo videos and self-help videos. Tell us about the new videos.
So we're coming out with a new one first. So I've got a bunch of instructional tattoo DVDs out, teach you how to tattoo and how to body pierce. You can check those out at Insane Tattoo Products or the International School of Body Art. But what we're doing now with Kind Selections and Tim Powers is we're going to teach you how to blow glass. So we're going to do a basic video to start, where I'll teach you all the basics of glass blowing, coil pots, blowouts, vac stacks, these sort of things. I'm becoming quite knowledable learning this stuff.
Oh, a whole bunch of terms I don't recognize, but I should probably watch the video.
You're going to learn for sure. So it's we're going to do the same thing, step-by-step videos.
It's glass blowing, that's very nice.
So anybody out there, especially with legalization now, this is a great hobby and maybe a great new industry that if you're looking for something, cool to do.
Very cool. See, keeping yourself busy while you're waiting, and
you've got it. The first year drove me a little insane. It did. It about broke me. It pretty much broke me. But I crawled back out of that hole. You know what I mean? People need to understand that I'm not doing this for me. I've lost everything. There's nothing getting back for me. I've lost my cars. They're gone. The house is gone. The money's gone. I can't even sue. I'm not even allowed to sue. So the only reason that I'm doing this is because I'm stubborn, number one, and for the right reason. You know, we need medical access for patients. In a storefront, they've sold all the medical cannabis to the recreational market. There is nothing for the medical. They've left them last instead of first, and that's the way it should be. Homeless people, they can't order online. They don't have credit cards, and you know, it's just very important for especially those people that really need it.
Marginalized
are
people
being shoved down so that they can't get medical access, and that's just wrong.
And those are the people who are winding up suffering in this new era of legalization, right?
Well, absolutely, and that's the way it is. The poor always suffers. The indigent, the poor, those
marginalized.
Marginalized. They can't read, or other issues. They may not even know how to use a computer. So,
and you said, access to a
wait
credit
a week
card,
or 2 weeks, and then there's mail strikes and all these different things that
Plus, it's cost prohibitive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to pay shipping fees. You've got to,
taxes. It's expensive to produce.
And you got to ship
cannabis.
each packet separately. Charge you another shipping fee.
Then there's all that over packaging we have to consider.
We're not very green about things, are we?
We try to be.
Yeah.
Now, I used to love.
Canada Magazine does a lot of cross-country trips across Canada, so we can check out all the different cannabis spaces going on across Canada. And it was usually our favorite stop in Saskatchewan because it was the only place in Saskatchewan that you could find decent quality cannabis. And not only that, your storefront would always, it would seem like a center point of the community.
It was.
There were always so many people coming and going, and there was so much literature and information, and it was at the time it was so refreshing for me to see that kind of cannabis culture in Saskatchewan.
It was amazing for our community. I still got a lot of support there, and it's. I went back and a few months ago, and I left a sign on the window there. Can't remember what it said. If a law is unjust, you must break it. Or so I left there a big sign on the window before I left. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and no, it was really great for our community, and that was really great for me, being able to help all those people.
Well, listen, thank you. On behalf of High Canada, I wish you, let me wish you the best of luck on your case, and we'll check in with you, I guess, afterwards and find out how it all went down.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So if you want to keep track, I think we have the King of Compassion versus Health Canada. It's listed under a group under Facebook, and I post from time to time any updates on there. And if you want to check out the donations, you can check out marijuanamailorders.com /about-us, and that'll show you not all the donations, but at least 110,000 or so of them that I made to various institutions and people on a personal level.
So, Jerry, you are also involved in the Cannabis Substitution Project. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here in Vancouver with that.
Yeah, so the Cannabis Substitution Project is a really awesome project. It's run by Neil Magnuson, and it's at Van Du, which is where the Safe Needle injection site. So they do this twice a week, every Thursday and Sunday. So every Thursday and Sunday, people can line up and they get a absolutely free care pack, a cannabis care pack. So it may be gummies, a joint, cookies. Sometimes people will come in with their slushy machines. Depends on who's donating that week. But it's a pretty good care pack. So they get they get something to help them get them off opiates and the other drugs. And basically, just help them have a better day living on the streets, So they do this twice a week, and and that's why they call it the Cannabis Substitution Project. So it's trying to get people off opiates and these, horrific drugs, and get them into something better that's going to make them feel better, get them healthier, and get them through the day in a more positive way. And it just gets them off the other drugs easier for many reasons. Number one, it can make your day better, and it works very well with opiates. So if they're already doing the opiates, they may need to do less opiates, and may prevent an overdose as well if you have the combination of cannabis and an opiate. So it's a really important project, especially downtown Vancouver on East Hastings. The lineups sometimes get over 200 people, and this happens twice a week. So if anybody's out there that's would like to donate or give back to the community in a way, this is a really awesome project. So if you'd like to donate anything, please get a hold of myself or get a hold of Neil Magnuson, and you can find him at the Cannabis Substitution Project on Facebook. Or if you come down to Cannabis Culture, he's here all the time as well.
And if you would like to shoot Jerry a letter of support or encouragement about his ongoing upcoming court case, you can drop him a line at jerry@marijuanamailorders.com.